But they are telling everyone who he is.
University police today identified the man they say attacked a UF student on campus last month. TV 20's Kristen Giannis reports DNA evidence brought the suspect's police catch to life. Now it's time to take a look at the weather. It was really warm outside today, Dave.
And parts of north central Florida got some rain. Now, what are we looking at as we head into the Christmas weekend? Mike Gismondi is here to tell us.
With a revoked license and a handful of other violations and charges, you can say this driver's record caught up with him in the early hours this morning. The man, whose identity is not being revealed, eluded police for several blocks while reaching speeds up to 70 miles per hour. The chase ended when the driver veered off of US 441 and was ejected from his vehicle. No one else was injured in the incident.
Have an active arrest warrant for a violation of probation due to a previous DUI conviction. His license was suspended several times and it was currently revoked for 5 years.
The driver's family has been notified and GPD officers are conducting a traffic homicide investigation. Airport officials say holiday air travel is expected to fall 11% from last year. Even with more drivers taking the roads for Christmas, there's still 260,000 Floridians in the skies. Officials from the Gainesville Regional Airport believe it won't follow the national trend because their ticket prices have remained the same compared to other places. And officials hope travelers will get to their locations comfortably.
Actually, I hope it's just uneventful. I think people want easy travel. They expect hassles because it's busier. The good news is that there's no bad weather predicted for the Northeast, and that really gave us some curveballs.
Almost 3 in 5 travelers said the economy has had no impact on travel plans or their finances have improved. There's a battle brewing at the state capitol over how tickets should be sold. Many professional sports teams and musicians are beginning to offer paperless tickets that are redeemable using the purchaser's credit card. Supporters say it's more convenient, but as Whitney Ray tells us, opponents say paperless tickets make it nearly impossible to resell. Supporters of paperless tickets say the method can help reduce scalping. It also helps customers keep from losing their tickets. A Florida homeowner has to deal with a car in her house. An unlicensed driver slammed into it, and as Caitlin Ross explains, this is the second time this has happened.
We heard some tires skid, then bam, right into the house.
Homeowner Nadine Thomas ran outside as soon as the car made impact and says she couldn't believe her eyes.
I was so nervous I couldn't hardly talk. I went back in and called 911 and I was trembling. I couldn't hardly talk.
She tried to calm the young driver down while fire rescue had to cut the passenger out of the car. Both escaped with only minor injuries.
He's alive, and that's all that matters, you know. He's alive.
The cleanup is likely to take some time, though. The driver of the car didn't have his license, and the car itself was not insured. The damage from the accident is visible both inside and outside the house. What's worse, it's not the first time it's happened.
And this is the second time that done happened, not with this car. Another guy ran into the house before.
She says 2 years ago, a different car slammed into her home in the same exact spot.
Next time, if it happened again, it might knock the house down.
That's Caitlin Ross reporting. We're back right after this. Stick around. This is the TV 20 News at 11.
With the Iowa caucuses just around the corner, there's still no clear front-runner among the GOP candidates for president.
Mary Snow reports. Now, the wives of the candidates are getting into the spotlight.
We're used to seeing them by their husbands' sides. Now, the wives of the Republican presidential hopefuls are taking center stage in campaign ads, like this one called Character, where Ann Romney praises her longtime spouse, Mitt.
And if you really want to know how a person will operate, look at how they've lived their life. And I think that's why it's so important to understand the character of a person. To me, that makes a huge difference.
In the ad, you see the Romneys, but political watchers say it's not just about them. It's really about someone who's not in the ad at all.
Ann Romney's unmistakable theme is, my husband is trustworthy, Newt Gingrich is not trustworthy. It is a very, very clear play here that they are contrasting his longtime one-woman marriage with Newt Gingrich's short-term three-women marriages, and also his infidelity in his marriages.
Mitt Romney denies the ad is about contrasting anybody, saying it's about personal background. Longtime marriage is also a theme in this ad by Rick Perry's wife, Anita, who speaks glowingly about marrying her high school sweetheart. The ad is seen as targeting the party's conservative base.
We grew up in small towns, raised with Christian values we still believe in. And we know Washington, D.C. could use some of that.
Then there's Newton Callista's Christmas greeting, in which Callista Gingrich makes her first appearance in an ad.
From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'm Callista Gingrich.
And I'm Newt Gingrich, and I approve this message.
Game changers? Maybe not. With the Iowa caucuses less than 2 weeks away, candidates are scurrying to reach an audience where family makes a difference.
They're targeted to families, and certainly they're targeted to women, because reassuring voters in Iowa that he's a good guy and he's a family man has a lot of resonance for women.
There are some spouses who are keeping a lower profile. In the case of Ron Paul, he's leaving it to his son, Senator Rand Paul, to speak for the family in a new ad set to run in Iowa and New Hampshire. Mary Snow, CNN, New York.
Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney is back in the spotlight thanks to some well-known newspapers. New Hampshire's union leader slammed Romney for what it called an arm's-length style of campaigning. The paper says he's doing events with scripted questions and giving well-rehearsed answers. And in Iowa, where the latest polls suggest Romney, Ron Paul, and Gingrich are tied for the lead, Romney is being singled out by Democrats. Vice President Joe Biden ridiculed Romney's vision of an opportunity society in an opinion essay in the Des Moines Register. Romney called the piece in the newspaper a Joe Biden gaffe.
Someone had written an op-ed in the Des Moines Register attacking me and blaming me for the economy. And I thought, now who would have the chutzpah? There you go. Well, the delusion to imagine that I was responsible for the decline of this economy over the last 3 years, and it was none other than Vice President Joe Biden. And another gaffe, exactly right. And you wonder, in some respects, what fantasy land he lives in.
Romney got better news from former President George H.W. Bush, who told a Texas newspaper he's the Republican Party's best choice.
Stick around. Mike has your weekend forecast along with that Christmas forecast we want to know about coming up next.
Christmas is right around the corner, but the Gator basketball team got an early gift before the holidays.
A hard-earned victory against our rival Florida State. It tasted better than eggnog. TV 20's Angelo Caruso is here to say the Gators may need that holiday refreshment to resupply all the energy they left out on the court.
Billy Donovan would probably prefer they drink water or Gatorade, David, but refreshments will be needed after giving everything they had in an 82-64 victory over FSU. Coming up, what turned the tide last night, the Gators' direction, and quite possibly the play that started it all. See how man-child Patrick Young contributed in the run that put the game out of reach right after this. Opponent.
Gators going to get that first taste of the 12th man, it sounds like.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thanks, Angelo, very much. Well, that's all we have for the TV 20 News at 11. Thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas, everyone.
9 is next on TV 20. Good night.